It's not connect. Okay.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, I'm Mary,
I'm Linda.
and things have been kind of a little bit switched around this week. Y'all all know we wasn't on at 10 this morning, but the reason we weren't is Linda already had a prior appointment, and so Linda changed it to be at 1 o'clock today, but we were going to cook at my house. But because of Mama's book, it's messed our whole week up, but that's okay. We're doing okay. We're going to just go with the flow. Whatever comes up, we don't understand why, but that's okay. We just wanted to come on live and tell y'all why we weren't cooking and what's going on, because we feel obligated to let y'all know since we announced things. So,
And I think, Mary, that most of our friends and followers and viewers that have been with us for a long time, y'all know we're not crooks or anything like that. But some of the new people, I read one message on the way. I don't even know if that person was new or not, but they might have been concerned because we wasn't on this morning. And most of the time, I create events when we're going to be live, and you should get a notification. They should get a notification, right? So for today's event, when I created it at 1 o'clock, and we talked about whether to change the time or whether to let Mary cook by herself. And then we settled on the fact to change the time so we would both be together. Because when I made my dental appointment, we were not cooking but twice a week. So that's why my dental appointment was on Wednesday, and it's very hard to get a dental appointment and to change it. Sometimes you have to wait weeks or even months before you could get another appointment. So anyway, we apologize to anyone that felt misinformed or was disappointed because we wasn't on this morning at 10. And another issue is we have one vehicle. So we hadn't decided yet what we're going to do about tomorrow, but I had already made an appointment tomorrow that Mike's got to be at, and I was going to stay home and we were going to cook here. Well, now, because Mary's been over here 2 days in a row, we haven't decided what we're going to do about tomorrow yet. But one of us will be cooking. Either one or the other of us will be cooking, but we may be by ourselves tomorrow.
yeah. Well, okay. So what have you got here?
I've just got a few things out that Mama's picture, of course, and she had the most beautiful blue eyes. We call them Lee eyes.
Yeah.
Mary and Edward, Charles, they all have eyes like Mama. Mine aren't quite as blue because I have a little touch of green in my eyes because my eyes are more like my daddy's eyes than my mama's.
Oh, hazel type, yeah.
But Mama has made so many things through the years for us, and one of our third cousins, is Johnny Dale our third cousin? She was Daddy's second cousin, so she was our third cousin. Because Lucille was his first cousin.
Right,
so
right.
Anyway, she asked me about this. It's probably been over 2 years ago. So Johnny Dale, I apologize that I'm just now showing this little doll. But this little doll is called the Depression doll. And in the 30s, they just made, grandmamas made little dolls for children out of scraps. And these are very old. Do you remember when Mama made these?
She didn't make me one.
Oh, I thought
That
she
was one
made
of those
everybody
things.
one.
She didn't make me one.
Anyway.
Some things she made you because you didn't have children, and she made all the grandkids things, so she made you a few little extra things.
So these were probably like little sample projects that she did to see if she was going to want to make them.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know if you can see this or not, but she braided the material around her it looks like hair. She braided the material.
Yeah, that's cute.
Or plaited it. That's what we used to call was plaid.
Yeah.
She plaited it. And then she's got little ribbons tied around it. And these are just little strings of fabric.
Yeah, that is just
and,
cute as it can
this
be.
is a little soft body. It's just a little half body and arms. And then this is a little styrofoam ball for the head. So
she was very talented.
She was extremely talented. She's had just like you. I mean, you're just like her.
Mother was more talented than me. She had more time, I think, to work on things like that. I love to do it. Even to this day, even this week, I have been looking at craft projects I don't have time to do it. I just
Yeah.
don't have time,
I
but I
remember-
love to do
I remember all those
crafts.
ideal books that Mama had.
Yes, I had them for a long
I
time.
think I still have a couple of them. These were old craft, they're hardback books, they're
Yeah.
old craft books that she would get them and then she would go through them, kind of like me with music. I would get a new album and I'd go through it and pick out the song that I wanted or the songs, and she would pick out
Yeah.
stuff that she wanted.
Yeah.
And the bears she made, and I've got my phone here because I'm expecting, hoping, praying for a call in a little bit from the driver that's supposed to be, I hate to even say it, supposed to be bringing books. But
I was just gonna say, the reason we're not cooking today is because we're still supposed to be getting Mama's books
Yeah.
any minute now.
and we had talked about me cooking today what I was planning on cooking tomorrow, but because I have only been home from the dentist just for not even an hour, I didn't even have time to get that ready because it takes longer to prepare than an hour. So I just felt like it would have been too rushed and not knowing if they're going to call and we're going to have to, stop what we're doing. So anyway, we have been on a fly-by-your-pants schedule this week. All 5 of us, 6 of us, me and Mary, Mike, little Linda, Carla and Chuck. So we've literally changed our plans on a daily basis. We have. So this bear here is it's just a bear. You can tell it's just a. She bought these at the craft store. It's just a plain bear.
The little legs move.
And the legs smooth, they're bendable, and has it on the doll stand. She made a little petticoat. We did have a hoop in here. I don't know what happened to that. Didn't she put hoops in them?
She may have. I forgot.
Cause that's what that is. That's a thing to put a hoop in. Maybe I washed it and took it out.
You probably did. You probably did.
But anyway, and then she dressed it up. She made a little lace collar.
Yeah.
And this is old, y'all. And I hesitate to take anything apart that my mama made because I just don't want to run the risk of it falling apart.
When I take something apart to wash it, I'm always afraid.
Very careful, yeah. So she's got her little cap on here, and she always dolled it up with the little flowers and little things. So these are just a couple things that I thought I would show that Mama. Oh my goodness, I couldn't even begin to tell you what all Mama made over the years.
Some people want to see Granny's picture.
All right, show it a
Close.
little closer.
Now, in Mama's younger years, her hair was really dark.
Yeah, her younger years, yeah.
And it was thick, just like Mary's always was. Very, very
Yes,
thick.
and I wished I had that thick hair back.
And so Mary had Mama's hair, very dark and very thick. And Mama Lee's hair wasn't that thick.
No, Mama's hair was, I think her hair was thin. I don't know where we get the thick hair. But Mama had thick hair, I had thick hair, both of my girls had thick hair.
I took after Daddy. And Charles and Mary took after Mama. Edward and I took after Daddy. Our hair is lighter, always has been lighter. Of course, mine's gray now. But our hair Edward's eyes are really blue though. So Edward didn't get Daddy's eyes, but I did.
His eyes are blue.
But Daddy's hair was a kind of a sandy color. It wasn't blonde, but it's kind of a sandy color. And of course, it never got gray because he died young. But Pinkie Mom's hair was dark, wasn't it? I remember when it started turning gray.
I think it was.
I think
it was a pepper, salt and pepper color.
I think it was. But anyway, it's kind of ironic how different kids get different traits. Like, of course, all the Pinkstons have the high foreheads. We have a droopy eye. And almost every Pinkston I know has a droopy eye, right?
My optometrist, he wants to do surgery on my eyelid because it comes so far down. And I said, they've been that way all my life. I can see fine, But that's just a Pinkston thing.
Do you remember when Pinkie Mom, she had pictures on top of her piano. Now, Pinkie Mom was our paternal grandmother, Pinkie Mom and Pinkie Pa. We grew up beside of them. And she had her whole piano was lined with pictures.
Yeah.
And Uncle Clifford was Daddy's baby brother that got run over and killed by a drunk driver when he was 14 years old. Mama was pregnant with Mary at the time. It was in 1946. And the picture of him, I don't know who got that picture. I asked my cousin one time, she didn't know either. Mary Sue may have it.
Yeah, she might do.
But his eye, he was 14 years old, and he had a droopy eye.
Is that right?
Don't you remember
No,
that?
I don't.
I
No,
do.
I don't. I don't remember.
And Daddy had a droopy eye too. That's what I call it. You know, I don't know what the technical term is, but it's just
Are you talking about the overlaps?
The
A hooded eye.
a hooded eye. Okay, thank you.
I didn't know. I just knew. And Charles, Grace, all of
Yeah,
us.
Misty. I mentioned
Yeah.
it to Misty one time, and she said, "Linda," she said, "I never knew that's why it was."
Yeah.
It's funny for the older
I
ones
know.
because we know, but the younger
Yeah.
generation, some of them, they didn't know, you know.
Yeah.
So I remember one time, I stopped in a store in Melrose. 21 runs east and west, and 21 runs right through Nacogdoches. It's East Main turns into 21, and 21 east going towards Sharina, which is where our mom and daddy and Pinkie Mom, and a lot of the Pinksons are buried. Goes that way, and of course, and now I lost my train of thought what I was saying. Anyway, I totally forgot what I was saying, Mary. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
Your memory's so much better than mine, so I'm not sure what you're.
It is. I think I'm on overload today. I've got so much on my mind. But anyway, Uncle Clifford. This is not what I was going to say, but Uncle Clifford was at the bottom of that hill. When you come into Nacogdoches, you go down a hill, and Nacogdoches was built in a valley, and he was at that bottom of that hill. It was on a Sunday evening, and him and a friend of his went across the road to the store.
The church
from the
across
church.
the street, yeah.
And he got run over, and the kid that was with him got hit too, but I don't think he died, but Clifford did. But
He's 15?
14. He was 14 years old, yeah. And I don't think they let Mama go to the funeral
Because I think Mama said she couldn't because she was pregnant, and that was
something that they considered
Superstition.
not a thing
Yeah.
to do is view a body when you were pregnant.
I
And
don't
so
know
she
why,
didn't.
but that was a wise
Yeah.
tale or something, whatever. But I thought, did you, Linda? You wasn't pregnant with one of your boys when Daddy died. No, your
No,
boys
they were
all
older.
born.
It's probably not even something that people even would think that
about
anymore,
today.
but back then
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah.
They did think about that. But anyway, and let's see, there was something else I was thinking about this morning about the family. So Pinkie Mom, Pinkie Paw is who we named our business after, Pinkie Mom, basically. Mom and Polly are are Mama's parents, and they were the ones that lived on the farm in southeast Nacogdoches County. So we have so many good traits from both sets of grandparents.
Right. We do.
And
Got
and
good
both
hair-
completely different, but good.
Different, but good heritage. We sure do.
Yeah.
And I know Mother would be happy that we got her book. Finally got it written. You know, that's what we started.
Yes.
Part of the reason we started these videos is to get Mother's book out there. Really, when we started, we really wasn't even thinking that we might get it published. But we wanted to tell the story, right?
Yes.
But we wanted to tell part of her story, and so it's just progressed, and so I'm really pleased with it. I am.
Yeah. It's been, and we wasn't even the one that spent the time writing it, it was Mama, but it has been a labor of love and some very intense moments, and I know that, you know, everybody's personality is different. Mary and I, our values are the same, we think a lot alike, we can finish each other's sentences, but our personalities are, you know, a little bit different, y'all know that. And, you know, I read comments and sometimes I have to laugh because they're always talking about how sweet and kind Mary is, and she is. She's been that way all my life. Everybody has always loved Mary.
Well, they love you too, Linda.
There is never, no, I'm not saying that at all. I know people love me, and I'm not, I don't have any hang-ups about that, but Mary has just, never have my entire life, I should say. I'm not talking about just out of the last 2 years, but, I often say I've never met a Mary that I didn't like, because Marys have sweet personalities. And Linda's, sometimes we just are we're a little bit feisty. And I told him this morning, or a few minutes ago, if those books don't come today, I'm gonna pass the mantle on to somebody else that can do the fussing, because I'm tired of fussing, because people tend to think that I'm overreacting or not chilling. I'm not a chill person. Hello, in case you don't know that already, I'm not. I'm a very intense person. I don't apologize for it. I know how to get stuff done, or at least I used to.
But still do.
But a lot of the times, something is out of your hands.
Yeah, that's right.
And this has been out of our hands for the last few days.
So there's nothing you can do about it. We just have to roll with it, just do whatever. That's the way my opinion is. Just don't get too upset about it, because it's going to happen. It may not be today, may not be tomorrow, but it's okay. We just got to go on with life. That's the way I feel.
But I know so many of y'all, and it kind of tickles me, because some of you, one of our sweet friends from Kentucky, you'll know who you are. She said yesterday, she said she was a nervous wreck all day. I said, well, thank God I'm not the only one. I thought it was so funny. She was nervous for me, probably.
We sat here to what, 5:30 yesterday. 5:30 yesterday, and
they didn't even call
call
us.
us.
I called them.
To tell us they wasn't here. We stayed all day, and it was okay, but it's just a lot of things that we would have. I could have gotten done
We could
at
have
home.
been doing,
Yeah.
and we were all
Yeah.
extremely
Yeah.
tired. And so when Mike said, I'm the one that always says I'm going to call. Well, Mike said, Lenny, you should call them. It was already past the window, and so I call them. And she said, they tried to deliver it. They couldn't deliver it. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. There's been 6 people sitting here, 5 people, sitting here all day long. You did not try to deliver this. There's 3 things I don't like. And if these 3 things happen to me, you're going to know it. Somebody attacking my family, somebody lying to me, or somebody patronizing me. I do not like any of those. Mary will smooth it over. She'll chill with it, but those are things that there are things that happen that are beyond our control. I understand that, but I don't like people just trying to patronize me to get me off the phone, and that's what these people have been doing for 5 days.
Yeah, I know.
See how sweet she is.
Hey, well, it's just nothing you can do about it. I may have the same thoughts or inner feelings, but I don't know. It just it's just not going. It's not going to make it happen any sooner. And that kind of makes me think of when I was in the hospital. I had my first 2 kids at home, but little Linda, I had her in the hospital. So that was my first experience of having a birth in the hospital. And so I'm in the labor and delivery, and I'm over there just quietly, just kind of praying to myself, and I was having severe pain, but I was quiet about it. There's a lady next door, and the curtain on the other side of that curtain, she was cussing her husband and screaming and hollering.
That's uncalled for.
And I thought, she is wasting so much energy that she could be, if she is in that much pain, if she was in the pain that I was having, she wouldn't have the energy to holler and scream.
Yeah, and
So it
that's
doesn't-
not necessary to
It's
do that.
just, you know, so you just have to, you know, take your time and breathe. And I guess I kind of look at it like all my anxiety of happening, just take your time and breathe and it'll all work out.
Mary, if you'll keep talking,
Okay.
I'm gonna go back there. I think I can pick up something pretty quick. I wanna
Okay,
find
all
something.
right, okay. I was thinking, Linda showed you some items here that Mother made, and it's like I said before, sometimes Mother didn't make us both the same thing, because Linda had not having children, she would, if she was just making one item, Linda got that. But I did get a lot of things that Mother made, and I was thinking about the other day that I may show you some of the things that I have. And some of them she has too. But one thing that because I've been going through things, Carla was at the house helping me, and I was going through some things, and I found a sack. It was in Mother's. It was a sack that my mother had, and it was full of sewing items, old buttons, the old carton, the little packages of buttons that had like 25 and 35 cents on it that they bought. She no telling how long she had those buttons. And I told Carla, I says, I don't need these buttons. I don't need none of it, but I just don't want to get rid of it. So anyways, I may show that to you one day. So.
Yeah, it would be very hard for me to get rid of something that was that old. So, what I got in here, I just put this up the other day, so I knew exactly where it was. This is something, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is a letter here from the War Department to Pinkie Mom, Pinkie Mom.
I remember that.
And this is the letter that they answered Pinkie Mom after she wrote them about asking them to let Daddy come home. You remember that?
Mhm.
This is the letter here.
From the service.
Yes, from the service. But several years ago, long before Pinkie Mom died, actually it wasn't that long before she died. She died in 81, didn't she?
I don't remember the year. I know Linda was born in 79, and she lived a couple.
Yeah, I think she died
lived
in
a couple
81.
years after. I don't know if Linda remembers her or not. Do you remember her?
No.
Well, when I was, several years ago, I asked Pinkie Mom would she write me some things about her life. And you'll see that this is handwritten on notebook paper. And she was born, wait a minute, was she born in 1890?
1890 is what it said. To February.
No, this is when her mom and daddy married.
Okay.
So I'm just going to read a couple of things out of here. Pinkie Mom was, she said, the only child in the family for 8 years. Pinkie Mom was the only child in the family. And so her mother Grandma Beasley, her mother took a lot of time to teach me things and also about God in heaven. When I was 4 years old, this is Pinkie Mom writing, she cut some little quilt squares about 2.5 inch size, pinned them together, and I made pencil marks to sew, and she made pencil marks, and I made enough blocks for a quilt top when I was 5 years old. This is Pinkie Mom.
Pinkie Mom was a preacher too.
Yeah, she was.
She was a fiery little
And
preacher.
she was an excellent seamstress. I finished enough blocks for a quilt top. She was very lonely, and she played with a little spotted dog and a mother cat. And I'm going to skip down a little bit. She's talking about her house that had a fireplace, and she left her stocking hanging by the fireplace on Christmas Eve night. And she said the next morning, to my great delight, it would be full of candy, nuts, oranges, apples, and a lot of goodies used usually on the floor beneath the stocking. She was an only child, so this was probably a pretty big deal
Yeah.
for her to get that much, because if you think our Molly would divide one orange between all of her children.
Yeah.
And Pinkie Mom was the only child, and she got all this stuff. So she was probably pretty well tended to.
And you know, that's a tradition that Mama carried on, putting nuts and fruit. Remember that? She put it in our shoes wherever we was. We set our shoes for our stuff. If it wasn't in a stocking, it was apple and orange was in our shoe. And so Mama did that when we were growing up. And then I did it with my kids. I think it stopped at my children's generation.
I love that. I'm not going to read every bit of this. I'm just going to read. She's talked about, you know, how her mother started going to this revival. They were Methodist. Pinkie Mom was christened in a Methodist church. And you know, I always thought it was in Trawick where she was christened, and it wasn't.
Where was that?
I'm thinking, I may have to finish reading this, but I'm thinking it might have been Sabala, but I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
But her folks, and probably the reason I thought that she was christened in this church is because her Grandpa Beasley, and one of her brothers is buried down the road from Trawick, behind that church.
Right.
So I'm just going to kind of look through here. She said when she was 13 years old, she joined the Southern Missionary Baptist Church. That was, she said that was all we knew. Was the youngest of 17 converts to be baptized when she was 13. She started the school at age 7, and that was, I guess, was the age that people started to school back then. And she said when she was 16, I didn't like my teacher. I thought she said she quit. She went to work in a millinery shop. Pinkie Mom worked in a shop that made hats. Do you know somebody asked us on one of the comments, said they wish we made hats?
You remember I made one when I was a teenager.
Aunt Tatsy used to make all of hers.
Aunt Tatsy made all her
To
hats.
match all her outfits.
Yes, and I made some when I was a teenager because I still know how to do it.
Well, Pinkie Mom, she worked in a factory when she was a young girl.
And I love hats. I still love hats.
She sure did. They made ladies' hats, and she said they were beautiful. They were trimmed in lace.
I may make me
and
one
flowers.
I may make me a hat priester.
I do not like
She don't
hats.
like them. But I do. I like hats.
I think they're beautiful. They just don't look good on me. It's kind of like me wearing a blazer. Nuh-uh. No. My body is not built like normal people, so there's certain things that I don't like. So I want to tell you about this because this is funny. So when I was 18, I was engaged to be married. We broke up 3 weeks before the wedding date. That was in August. And in February, did you know she was engaged before Pinkie Mom?
If I did, I don't remember.
So she said that was in August. In February, I met a young man, Lester Pinkston. She knew many of his relatives for a long time, and they fell in love. Now she was 18, right? 18, and what I just said, she was 18. I'm going to paraphrase this because I can do it better than reading this because she kind of skips around here. They dated until she was 27 years old, so that was 9 years they dated. 9 years. And this was back in the day. It wasn't like people hooking up today. You know, they dated. It was dating. And he come to her, and what to give you a little background on why she dated him for so long. Pinkie Mom's mother got sick, Grandma Beasley, and in the meantime, she had had 3 more children. She had 1 sister, and she had 2 more brothers. And because they were all so much younger than Pinkie Mom, and Grandma Beasley knew that her life on earth wasn't very long, and so she asked Pinkie Mom to promise her that she would not marry till those children were grown. And Pinkie Mom was a real little woman. And so the kids were all pretty big kids, probably. I don't know, I'd have to figure their ages. But Pinkie Paul came in one day, and he was feisty too. He was a little man, but he carried a lot of weight in his little statue. He came in one day and he said, Mary, he said, these kids are bigger than you are. He said, you either marry me or I'm moving on. She said, Linda Faye, I knew he meant business, so I married him. I could just hear her saying that. I could just see her face when she's telling me that. So anyway, that was something that Pinkie Mom, we are, Pinksons are very loyal. We tell you we're going to do something, we're going to do our very best to do it. If it's in our control, we are going to. But anyway, there's sad stuff in here too. But she talks about Daddy dying, about losing Clifford, and she talks about her sister. She loved her little sister, and she loved her brothers. And she bought tombstones for her brothers, both of them. Did you know that?
Uncle Fred?
No, not Uncle Fred. Uncle. She might have had. Did she have 3 brothers and 1 sister? Uncle Alan, Uncle Fred, and wasn't there one more?
Frank was at Pinkie Mom's.
Yeah, I don't know, but not Uncle Fred, but her other brother, Alan.
Okay.
She bought a tombstone for him. I know she bought that tombstone.
Well, she may have. I don't think she bought Uncle Fred's.
No, she
Because her
didn't.
daughter probably, his daughter probably.
She bought it with money she sewed with.
Yeah.
She kept their money in a little handkerchief.
Yeah, she did.
Tied up in a little
Yes,
handkerchief.
she did. Yes, she did.
And this is something else about Pinkie Mom. Y'all know.
She kept it tied up in a handkerchief in her bosom.
And she kept her money separate from Pinkie Mom's.
Oh, I know it.
Now, they didn't do banks.
Yeah.
But what the money that she earned, it was hers.
Yeah.
And the money Pinkie Mom earned, he's the one that paid for everything. But Pinkie Mom kept her money and done what she wanted to with it. That was very unusual back in the day, during that time.
Well, she worked hard. She worked
Probably
at that sewing machine
12 or
every
14
day.
hours a day sewing.
Every day, sewing, every day. Now, she went to church on Sunday. She went to church, and if we had revivals, she'd go to church on the revivals. But she was at that sewing machine cooking. Now, there was times I remember her being in the kitchen. She did cook some.
Yeah, she did
She
cook.
did cook some.
But Pinkie Mom
Pinkie Mom
more
done
than
a lot of
that
it.
Pinkie Mom did.
And she's the one that always put the meal in her cornbread. She always put the meal in
In
the
the
bottom.
pan skillet.
Yeah, and I never really cared for the meal.
She did.
In the bottom of the skillet, but a lot of
She
people
was a
do.
good cook.
Yeah,
She was a good cook. She just didn't do the majority of the cooking.
Yeah.
And she fixed a big Sunday dinner because she always had company on Sunday. A lot of times, Aunt Tyncy and her family would come, and Aunt Big Girl and them were there a lot. They were twins, Aunt Tyncy and Aunt Big Girl. That was their twin daughters, Daddy's sisters. And then sometimes Uncle James and Aunt Lucy and his family come, or Uncle Buddy, you know. And of course, we were there beside of them. We didn't normally eat Sunday dinner with them.
No, we didn't.
Because there was usually always a crowd
Mama
out
didn't
there.
want us eating out there because Mama felt like that there was elderly and
Yeah.
she didn't want them cooking for us. Mama always had our food, but kids, they would ask us, we're fixing to eat, y'all want to come in and eat? And us kids, we knew not to.
Well,
even if we wanted to, we knew not to because Mama told us not to do it.
Me and Edward ate breakfast out
Y'all
there
did.
a lot.
Y'all ate more out there than I did.
We ate breakfast out there a lot. But that was because Pinkie Mom had breakfast so early. We'd eat and go to the field and come back, and then we'd eat breakfast at Mama's. So.
Yeah. Be like Daddy. Daddy done that a
He
lot.
would eat
He would eat with his mom and daddy, and then come out to the house and eat.
Yeah, he sure did. Has anybody asked any questions?
Yeah, several people have asked the name of Granny's book and where to buy it.
Okay.
Mother's book is called Mama's Story of Hope, Love, and Hope. That's the name of the book. And we should have it this afternoon. We ain't got that phone call yet, but we should have it this afternoon. And we will go live again when the books get here to show you that we have them in hand. Now, to purchase one of her books, you will go to our website. And our website is www.pinkiemomskitchen.com. Now, how you spell Pinkie Moms is P-I-N-K-Y-M-A-S Kitchen, K-I-T-C-H-E-N. So it's all one word, www.pinkiemomskitchen.com. and it's an S in there. It's Pinkie Mom's, PinkieMomsKitchen.com. And you just scroll down when you go to our website. You just scroll down, and you'll see where it says products, and you click on products, and it will take you to our merchandise where you can purchase aprons or cookbook. Now our cookbooks are still out, but didn't you say about another
We
week?
should have the cookbooks,
Another
the next shipment in about a week,
Yeah.
yes. And as soon as we get them, we'll open inventory up and we'll announce that
Yeah.
it's open.
So we have Mama's book on there, and our cookbook, and a child's apron, which is red. It's a small one for children, and then our pink or white adult aprons.
Yeah.
So
And that's all we got on there right now. We'll have some more merchandise on there sometimes later, but that's what we've got on there right now. And we're keep in mind when you see a time and you see an event, we're always Central Time because we're in Texas. And so if you have your notifications on and you see it, it should show the time that's in your area, right, Linda?
Say that again.
If they're in Eastern or Pacific or Mountain, the time should be correct for them, right?
I believe so. Yes. Yeah. I'm pretty sure because when we were in New York, remember I called y'all
Right.
and said, "Why'd you change the time?"
Right.
But that's because it was
Because you were
it
in
changed
New
it.
York, so
Yeah.
it changed it automatically. These smartphones are smarter than I am. But it's our time. It's 10 Central, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Except for this week, we've been off, and we'll do our best not to do that.
well,
to y'all
anytime that y'all know our schedule, you know our schedule, and you're expecting us to come on, if you will go to our website and go all the way down to the bottom and click on that little F, that's Facebook. It will take you to our page, and we've always got it posted. If there's something that's come up and that's different from what y'all used to, you may have to scroll down, but then you can see. And I'll tell you, Linda, something that we're going to have to start doing. I'm thinking, I was looking at it this morning to see if you posted that we were going to be on at 1. It's on there that we're going to be on there at 1, and you say Wednesday or Thursday. I think we need to start putting the date, because a lot of people, the date, say Wednesday, like March the 9th, or something. I have the date.
When we create the event,
When we create the event, put the date. I just know because I'm looking at it, and it's saying we'll be on live Monday, we'll be on live Tuesday, and they may think that's an old post.
okay. Well, for some reason I thought it had the date on it, but I may be wrong, and I'm not.
It may have, Linda.
I'm not correcting you because
No.
I don't want to get another.
Let me tell you something. I'm thinking back now. I think it does say the 10th. March the 10th or whatever. Linda, you want to check that? Is that what
I'm
you're
looking.
checking? Okay. I don't know. I'm just thinking if I was on the other end, if I was reading that, and it may have. It might, I tell you what it might be. It might be on my other page that I'm thinking.
Well, I'm
that I
very
messed
well
up.
could be wrong.
I could have messed up and
I
done
could
that.
be.
Because we got a comment about, I don't know if it was to me on on my other page, or if it was on Pinkie Mom's, that said that it would be good to know the date instead of just the day. So
Okay,
that's
well,
why
you
I'm
very well. may
that's
be
why
wrong.
I'm saying this. But now I'm telling you, we have so many pages and different things until I read something and I have to think who am I answering this for? Am I answering this for Pinkie Mom? Am I answering it for me or that other page?
it has a date.
It has the date on it. Okay. So just scroll down until it because there's several on there and it may be mixed up in other events. But just scroll on down there and it will tell you if there's been a change in something, is what I'm trying to say. We try to notify you, but we can't call everybody, so you just have to look at our page, which is Pinkie Mom's Cookies, Cakes, and Candy. Did I say that right? Cookies,
Yes,
Cakes, and
you did.
Candy?
Cakes, cookies, and candy.
Cakes, Cookies, and Candy.
We should have. I guess we should have said something yesterday, but I didn't figure anybody wanted to see my long face, as Mama would say. What you got such a long face for? My face is not long, mine's round.
Well, we're
That was a figure of speech.
the truck that is delivering the Mama's book is what kind of trailer is it? It's not a bobtail.
It's just short of an 18-wheeler.
and Linda's driveway, they can't get down it. So we're going to have to meet them at a car dealership downtown where the truck can park and we can take Chuck's trailer to get it. So we're just a few minutes away from when they told us that they would be calling us.
Yeah, Mike went out there and measured it, and for them to turn or back in our driveway, there's not enough space for them to turn.
Right.
There's not enough room for them to do that. And we originally thought it was going to be a 28-foot, which we've had that size trucks in here before.
Yeah.
But in our yard is too soft to turn around in, and even if it wasn't, Mike doesn't like ruts in his yard.
Yeah.
So we just said that, that
Yeah.
just, and they would stick, they would
Yeah.
get stuck today,
Yeah.
even if we didn't mind what it looked
Yeah.
like, what we do.
So we appreciate y'all listen to us just reminisce and talk. But we're going to be having to take care of business now and trying to meet them down there to get the get the books. Don't you think it's
Yes, and hopefully we'll be back on them. We're not going to put an event because we don't know what
No.
time it'll be, but if we get those books in our hands this afternoon, we will be back on live.
Yes, we don't know what time. I hate to even tell you what time they told us because it hadn't been it hadn't come to pass yet. But they said we should have them by 2:00. Isn't that what she said?
Well, he said between 2 and 4, but I'm hoping it's going to be closer to 2 than it is to 4.
I thought you said 1 and 2.
Well, he gave me a window, is what he gave me, a window. And, all I can say is what they told us, but hopefully it's going to happen today.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, we appreciate you coming, sitting down and visiting with us today, and we'll be back on tomorrow. We're not sure yet which place, but we'll be cooking tomorrow. So,
Lord willing.
Lord willing. Yeah, one of us will be.
So we'll see, hopefully we'll see y'all again in a little
Yes.
bit.
Love y'all.
Love you, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.